Here we go, my fellow wrestling fans, my fellow wrestling fans, and female wrestling fans. A lot of ladies that watch the wrestling too these days. Last night's Night of Champions wasn't just another premium live event. It completely reshaped WWE heading into SummerSlam. We crowned a new King of the Ring, a new Queen of the Ring. Witnessed some of the most emotional championship victories in recent WWE history, and saw several rivalries take major turns. So let's break it all down. Segment 1, we had Sami Zayn facing Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Sami finally reaches the mountaintop. Finally. 10 years, 10 times going for the championship. Sami finally did it. Became the biggest story of the night. And it was undoubtedly between Sami Zayn defeating Cody Rhodes and Gunther to become the new undisputed WWE champion. For years, Sami has been one of WWE's ultimate underdogs. Fans have watched him come close time after time, only to fall short. Last night, his perseverance finally paid off. This wasn't just a championship victory. It was the culmination of more than a decade of storytelling and one of the most emotional moments WWE has produced in years. To me, because I'm a Knicks fan, this kind of went, to me, it was kind of like the Knicks winning the championship. And I'm always talk about the Knicks winning that championship. That is one thing I will never, ever, ever let live down as a lifelong Knicks fan. But my take on this is that sometimes the best championship victories aren't about who's the biggest star. They're about who has the biggest story. And Sami Zayn earned this moment. Out of nowhere, Sami earned this moment. To be honest with you, I got kind of bored of the whole Sami Zayn thing. You know, talking to my man that's doing the planking. I forget his name right now with his wife. I get tired of that whole, storyline. But, to have Sami Zayn as champion is very interesting. It's very interesting. I'm just hoping he doesn't get squashed by Brock Lesnar or something like that. And I love Brock, but I hope they don't put Brock out there to squash Sami. Segment 2. Oba Femi is officially a main event player. Let me do that right. Oba. Is it who? Or Oba? Ooh, I don't know what it is, but anyway, I try to get it together, you guys. Oba Femi defeated Jey Uso to become the 2026 King of the Ring. The victory earns him a world championship opportunity at SummerSlam and continues his rapid rise on the main roster. Oba Femi has all of the tools: incredible size, elite athleticism, confidence, and a believable aura. WWE clearly views him as one of its next franchise stars. And I have to add, I'm not surprised that he won. To me, yes, he should have won. But the WWE, the storyline with the bloodline and the MFTs being gone now, but who's Solo Sikoa gonna be? Who he's gonna be dedicated to? Will he join Roman? Will he not join Roman and them? But the thing is that they keep putting up this thing about even LA Knights involved, that the Judgment Day, not Judgment Day, sorry about that the bloodline is going to interfere in big matches. And really, they've been quiet, but we all know the quietness does not last for long, especially in the bloodline. But I tell you, Oba, I'm happy that he won, and it should be one hell of a main event at WrestleMania. Whichever champion he should face. If it's Roman Reigns and Oba Femi, the African King and the Tribal Chief, that's a bad fight, right? That fight's happening right there. That's a bad fight right there. But this is when I go on record and say this is when I honestly think that the bloodline will interfere in a huge match. It would be at that time. I do not see Oba Femi fighting Sami Zayn. That's not a money draw for SummerSlam. I see Oba Femi going up against Roman Reigns. But to be honest with you, he has unfinished business as well against Brock Lesnar. Do not be surprised. Now, I don't know. This is the catch that WWE does. They don't want to give the brother all of that right now. But they may have him face Brock Lesnar one night and then Roman Reigns the next night for that championship. Brock Lesnar to settle, Oba Femi against Brock Lesnar to settle that feud that they have, that 1-1 tie, break that tie, and then the title match. You know he's gonna choose Roman Reigns. If he doesn't choose Roman Reigns, this is ridiculous. You missed that WWE, especially dealing with who they dealing with now. They're not missing any money. They're not missing any money. Okay. Segment 3, Io Sky wins Queen of the Ring. This one, I'm not surprised neither because, for one, okay, I happen to know why Liv Morgan entered. She wasn't getting any work. Let's be real about it. She's a big personality in the WWE. She's at the top of the food chain when it comes to the women's wrestling, and she has the title. Her opponent, who she's supposed to be feuding with over the title, has been hurt. Now, the same thing in a way has happened. Not the same thing in a way. It has happened when Jade Cargill was champion. They did not give Jade suitable competition, or she didn't have any competition when she was champion. So what wound up happening is they took the belt away. I didn't think that it was time to let Jade Cargill lose that belt. I'm one. I enjoy Jade Cargill. Everyone wants to criticize Jade, but I see a lot of other wrestlers, they're making mistakes, or they're jumping around the ring so much they make these mistakes. But Jade seems to get called out more than anything else. But Jade should have remained. Jade should have been champion going into at least SummerSlam. But getting back to Io, I don't want to rain on Io's parade. Io is a great wrestler. I was talking to my wife last night about it. I said Io Sky very arguably could be the most popular, or the most successful Japanese wrestler in the last I could say 20 years, besides Asuka. Asuka comes closest to me, but Io Sky she's definitely there. Shinsuke Nakamura, he would be one that I could say, but they totally misused him over here in America in the WWE. They've totally misused Shinsuke, which was a shame. But Io Sky defeated Liv Morgan to become Queen of the Ring. It was another outstanding performance from both parties to me. I mean, people criticize Liv for not having as much talent. I happen to love Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is very entertaining. I mean, Liv Morgan, anybody that comes from the bottom and you watch their growth to the ascension to the top, you have to respect that. And also, the young lady comes from New Jersey. She's from the Jersey area. I'm from New York, so I'm gonna always pull for Liv Morgan, in a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, they both put on a great show last night, but it submitted Io again. It submitted her as one of the best performers in the WWE. I mean, she's incredible at times. The genius of the sky is now the queen of the sky, And after the victory, she already chose to challenge Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship at SummerSlam, which brings up another interesting situation. I mean, it makes sense. She beat Liv last night, at Night of Champions. But at the same time, Liv doesn't have, unless I don't know if Stephanie Vaquer, if she's healthy now. I don't know. I don't know how bad Rhea Ripley's injury is. They have to do some shuffling here in the WWE women division in a way, because their top stars, a couple of their top stars, are injured. So how SummerSlam going to look on the other side after the Liv Morgan? That's set. Liv Morgan and Io Sky, that's set. And then you have Rhea. Who knows if Rhea's going to defend her belt? Rhea's hurt. So it's very interesting to watch and see. But it's also interesting, the backstory with Liv Morgan. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see how it works out with her in Judgment Day. She may criticize her teammates for not being there for her, in that critical moment. And her and Roxanne Perez, they have some, they have a little bit of tension there. So let's see if that carries out. Let's watch it. Let's watch Raw and see what happens there. Segment 4, match 4, was with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins against Braun Breaker in a steel cage. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins remains one of the WWE's top stars. Now, a lot of people are kind of mad, that Seth won, because they say, why would they let Seth win? Seth's an established star. He's main evented here, main evented there, held belts here, held all the belts. Pretty much he's pretty much held every belt. I don't know. I gotta check to see if he's if he's held all 4 belts. But I know he's held the tag team. He's held a lot of belts. But Braun Breaker is an upcoming star. Braun Breaker is a beast, Personally, I'm a Seth Rollins guy. But I gotta admit, Braun Breaker, he reminds me so much of his uncle. He's a mixture of his uncle and his brother and his father. Scott and Rick Steiner being his father and Scott Steiner being his uncle. It's crazy how he has so much more of his uncle in him than he does his dad. I mean, Braun Breaker is just incredible. But the match showcased Braun Breaker's toughness while reminding fans why Rollins continues to thrive in big match situations. Even in victory, when Braun kind of was on his knees, he came up, rose on his knees, and in a way started egging Seth to come on, and Seth gave him the curb stomp. Braun looked like a future world champion. Braun's got it. Braun's got it. It will be interesting how Oba, how that's gonna pan out in the future. That's gonna be very interesting. Now, match 5, segment 5. Tiffany Stratton continues her rise. Okay, now I'm kind of mixed on this one because to be honest, I'm about, when it comes to Jade Cargill, Jade's one of my favorite. I liked Jade when she was in AEW. So I'm a big Jade Cargill fan. Big lover of Jade Cargill. But I also respect Tiffany Stratton. I like this it's kind of, she's not the same Tiffany Stratton, but I like Tiffany Stratton more now than I did when they first brought her up from NXT. I mean, she's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out, but I like her more now. I'm not upset that, Jade lost. I didn't think Jade would win the United States title. I didn't think she would win that title anyway. And I'm not surprised that Charlotte was the one that, interfered. Well, I'm surprised. I wasn't surprised Charlotte interfered, because what Jade and the other girls, with B-Fab and Mishin, did to Charlotte before her match, last week against Liv Morgan for the Queen of the Ring, it made sense. One thing in wrestling, once you serve receipts, prepare to get one back. So that's exactly what happened with this match. Now, Trick Williams is interesting. Don't get me wrong, I like Trick Williams. Trick is bad, man. I love the whip that Trick, how the crowd reacts and everything. But Trick's one of those people with me, that, I don't know. There's nothing missing. I don't know what it is, but I don't think there's anything. I think he's one of my favorites, but he's a person that I think that extra notch. I don't know if, I think he was so strong as a heel with the fans, as far as being a fan favorite, as being a heel, that they had no choice to make him a fan favorite, a baby face now. But I honestly think, to be honest, in my opinion, I think Trick Williams is better as a heel. I think he's better as a full-fledged heel, and to be honest with you, I want him to get rid of that little Yachty. Right? I'm tired of Little Yachty in a way. I want him to get rid of little Yachty. But, he retained the championship against Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints, who's a hell of a talent. I mean, very talented. I look at Ricky Saints as being, yes, he's a future star. Is it possible he can hold one of the belts? Oh, hell yeah, of course. I mean, he's got it in him. He's gonna be big in the future as well. They got him from AEW. I mean, they went after him to get him. So, Ricky Saints is gonna be worth it. But with Trick Williams, his confidence, his charisma, and connection with the fans, it just continues to grow. And when you have people out in Riyadh going whip that Trick, and the whole stadium's going whip that Trick, You gotta love it. I mean, Trick has that, and the WWE clearly believes that Trick has long term main event potential, and I think it's going to be interesting that Sammy won last night. I mean, I'm just putting this out there for you guys. Sammy won last night, and Sammy's the world champion, and who beat Sammy for the belt that he's wearing, the United States belt? Who beat Sammy for that belt? It's Trick Williams. So it'll be interesting, but Cody's gonna want his shot at Sami Zayn. So, but Trick's gonna be up there to get that shot with Sami Zayn, because people don't forget, WWE won't forget storylines that they already have set. Okay, I can't wait to hear Trick say Sammy. But to me, the big winners of the night, and it's without question, the big winners of the night. Number one was Sami Zayn. I mean, you can't deny it. 10 years, he's been around for a minute. He's the most entertaining, and I was saying this against my wife last night, the most entertaining I thought Sami Zayn ever was, and I think a lot of you will agree with me, was the Bloodline Sami Zayn. Sami Uso. I mean, that's going to be interesting. That could be very interesting. An interesting type of storyline would be how it's going to look when Sami and Roman are face to face. Yeah, they've had that beef, but Sammy, by all intents and purposes, is an unofficial Uso. I mean, no. What is not unofficial? What am I talking about? He's an Uso. He's an Uso. He's an honorary Uso. That's what he is. Oba Femi. Oh, they're trying to build him to be a monster. They're doing a good job at it. I've seen plenty of unstoppable forces in the time I've been watching wrestling. I've been watching wrestling since 1976, at least 75, 76, right? I've seen a lot of monsters. I mean, I've seen the Goldbergs come along. I've seen Brock come along. I've seen Bruiser Brody. I was never really a big Andre the Giant fan. I just thought he was, just too big. He was just too big. But I've seen a lot of monsters, a lot of big fellas come along that were dominant. Batista even was one. But I like Oba. Oba's good. I got to give Oba credit. Plus, he's young as I don't know what. He's got a great future ahead of him. I think he's going to be a superstar. I mean, he is already a superstar, but he's going to be even more. He could, thinking about it, Oba Femi could be he could go, Triple H may have found his Hulk Hogan. And it's crazy, people don't think about that though. People not even going to think about it. Triple H and Oba Femi, he's probably found his Hulk Hogan. What Vince McMahon found in Hulk Hogan, Triple H has possibly found, if he plays it right, his Oba Femi. But he got to avoid making Oba corny. Can't make Oba corny. He has to make him the ruler. He has to do what he says he is, rule. And Io Sky to me is the third big winner last night. I mean, without a doubt, I love watching Io Sky wrestle. I mean, Io Sky, even though she beat Liv, and I love Liv Morgan, I just love watching Io Sky wrestle. Her talent is without question. Without question. And the thing I like about Io Sky, and I'm gonna say this out loud, she does a lot of aerial maneuvers. That's why she's a genius of the sky. But if you ever notice with her wrestling matches, take this, if these wrestlers are listening, she hardly makes a mistake in the ring. She's one of those that hardly makes mistakes in the rings when she's doing aerial maneuvers. There's so many, I won't name names because I'm not trying to make any enemies, not trying to criticize, but a lot of male and female wrestlers in the WWE do so many aerial maneuvers. They're so aerial that they make so many mistakes on top of it, which I think has to stop, because either they're going to hurt someone, like some have already done, or they're going to hurt themselves. Okay? Now, the biggest questions to me to come out of the Night of Champions is, what's next for Cody Rhodes after losing the undisputed WWE Championship? You guys comment. Let me know. I already told you. What's next for Cody Rhodes? I'm kind of tired of the Gunther thing, but they will run certain things and run it. But I hope that it's not Cody and Gunther again going over and over. Please give the man some new light. Hope CM Punk returns, because there's unfinished business there when they were in the ring together, and Cody invited him to challenge him for the belt when Cody was champion. But now that Cody's not champion, hey, I just thought about something. If CM Punk comes back, CM Punk's going for a title. Who has the title now? Sami Zayn. Who's going to complain that he should get his shot before anybody else, his rematch is going to be Cody Rhodes. So look for Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. That's what I think. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk to have some kind of beef about who should be the number one contender. And don't forget about Gunther. Although I don't want to see Cody and Gunther go again, they have to mix it up a little bit to make this thing keep fresh with us, keep, good with us. Another one is, who will Oba Femi choose to face at SummerSlam? My opinion is Roman Reigns. That's the money fight. Oba Femi, Roman Reigns, that's the money fight. Can Sami Zayn, my other question is Sami Zayn, can Sami Zayn successfully defend the title against WWE's Elite? Can Sami Zayn retain against Gunther? This is the thing. Sami's beaten Gunther before for the Intercontinental, right? Sami just beat Gunther last night, although it was a 3-man fight, right? I tell you, Gunther deserves to go over on Sami, but you don't want to cheapen Sami's title reign. So that's one. Can Sami successfully defend against Cody Rhodes? I think Sami can. Riyadh last night is different from America. The American fans seem to have a disdain for Sami Zayn. Fans in Riyadh, mostly Muslim, Islamic, just like Sami, Muslim, they cheered Sami on. They cheered him on. But that won't happen in America. So, in Cody in America, he's loved in America. So, but again, I don't want to see Sami have a short reign. I think Sammy's got to get it together and get him a little crew, so to say, a faction, or some kind of faction, somebody to help him protect that belt, or else he'll have a short reign. Will Io Sky capture another world championship? Yes, I say yes. Although I don't want her to beat Liv for the championship, yes, she can do it. She will, and she will capture another world championship. If Rhea Ripley's really, depending on how hurt she is, Rhea may just have to vacate that title. If she has to vacate that title, Io's going to be up for a shot at, replacing her for that championship. And, how will the WWE reshape the championship picture over the next month? They're going to build SummerSlam. Look for a lot of promo a lot of mic time between Oba Femi and Roman Reigns. Look for Brock Lesnar to remind Oba, we're not done. Look for, Jey Uso. Jey Uso saying, because the win last night, I didn't touch on, the win last night, Jey against Oba, it looked like Oba tapped. To me, it looked like Oba tapped out to Jey's sleeper, but it wasn't a tap. I don't know if it was, see, some of these things with WWE or something else. The same thing with Gunther's foot being under the rope and being counted out. It's the same thing. They're playing these little games now, which I don't know if it was a mistake, but you don't know if it's a mistake by the ref, by the wrestlers, or whatever. But let me just say this: that the one thing they're smart about, and Triple H, I got to give him credit for, he's smart about. He can make a story out of that. That Jey can make a claim that he should get a rematch, or for that matter, should be considered still at the very top as a contender, although he didn't win King of the Ring. Now, my final grade, Alexander Avenue's final grade for this would be an A-. To me, it's an A-. Hey, this wasn't a show loaded with shocking swerves every few minutes, which was good. They, instead, they focused on great wrestling, emotional storytelling, building new stars. That's very important. Creating excitement for SummerSlam. Sometimes that's exactly what a premium live event should do. And a lot of times we forget about that, people. They did a pretty good job last night. When I not go to sleep, it came on early in the day, but when I can look at a premium live event and not be totally disappointed. I'm not saying that my favorite person didn't win or not. That's just natural. Your favorite person may not win. It's not going to win all the time. That's one. But when you have matches that are just straight up corny and stupid, that's another thing. These matches weren't. They were all, they were all good matches, and they had good stories. Even at the end, my boy Nick Aldis, who I followed way back. I don't know if you guys are up on it. Nick Aldis, I followed him way back in TNA. He was a TNA champion at one time. I remember when he first started. I think he was wrestling over in Britain for a while, but he came over to America. I think his first stop, if I'm not mistaken, if it wasn't the Indies, it was TNA back in the early to mid 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. He's married to Mickey James. I believe, they met over there. But yeah, Nick Aldis, I'm happy to see that he might get back in the ring, and it might be against Gunther. God, I like Nick Aldis, but going against Gunther, that's a tough one. So when I asked that earlier about, what would be, how will WWE, what's it looking like, going forward? I think that's another match to look for. Nick Aldis and Gunther. It's another one to look forward to. And if you guys have never seen Nick Aldis fight before, I think you're in for a treat. Well, I like to ask you guys a question. What was your favorite match from Night of Champions? Did Sami Zayn deserve to become the new WWE champion? I just got to say it like this. Did Sami Zayn deserve to become the new WWE champion? Is Oba Femi the next face of WWE? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This is Alexander Avenue, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great one, everyone. Thanks for listening. Love you. Peace.